Hey, what's going on everybody? Blades for here to for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be actually going over the newest character introduction trailer for the new Rin, who is going to be a fire AoE DPS. Now, we saw in the past, of course, at least I wouldn't really call it a character trailer, but it was a PV trailer that was really just kind of showing like the background, some of the events and stuff like that, kind of like a content preview that was going down. And that's what we've been really looking at. But today, we actually got shown the character introduction, their skills, their awarenesses, and you already know what time it is. So of course I'm gonna go ahead and shift it on over. If you guys enjoy videos like these, be sure to like and subscribe to the video. Of course, it really does help me out in the long run, and y'all have been killing it. So as always, thank you guys. But let's try and get straight into it. So on the screen, you should go ahead and see P5X news and info here. Thank you once again for them actually posting this with the English subs. I'm unsure if they actually have the subs here, but I'm pretty sure they do. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna have the music turned off so you guys can actually hear the video, and I'm gonna also be talking through some of it, but we're gonna go through all the actual translating stuff after the video. So let's get straight into it. Make sure this time before we start the video that it's fully screened on in so you guys can see everything. All right, let's see if they disappoint. Okay, so we get to see, of course, the new Rin with her what's it called, with the little short story. So this is part of it. I'm thinking this is also part of the confidant story as well. I think I mentioned it briefly earlier. Oh, I wonder, will we get new little confidant little buffs and stuff with that? So kind of check. I need to check that. Oh, she doesn't. I keep forgetting she doesn't know the customs. Oh, that's kind of cute though. Well, dang. Well, dang. Okay, there was a glow up there. I do gotta admit though, that's a fine fit. That's a nice looking fit, dog. They did really good with her whole like design. That's really cool. And the persona, to be honest, persona looks really nice. Of course, we got the outlook of the whole character model, which looks amazing. Isn't this okay? So now we have the outlook of at least the first skill here. I'm seeing weak, so yeah, she does have the little form thing. Okay, this is what I was expecting. She has the form thing like Mesa does. You can see the alt right there, in which she immediately can just do this. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's really cool. Her skill 3 is an enhancement that immediately does a technical hit. Interesting. I do like that ult. I like that ult. That ult's really nice. The weapon suits her so perfectly. So that's the 5-star weapon. Okay, and then they're going over like passives and stuff like that. We're gonna get into this as well very, very soon, but dude, she looks so awesome. She looks like actually awesome. I'm not gonna lie to myself. She looks so cool. And then we have the AOA. Pretty darn good. And oh my god, that Fit for Wonder is so cool. But yeah, nah, she looks awesome. I can't wait. I am on guaranteed. Let me go ahead and fix my screen. I am on guaranteed for her banner, so we will be able to get her ASAP. That's gonna be awesome. But dude, she looks so freaking cool. But now we went over at least the video, let's go ahead and actually check out what everything really was translated to here. So of course we have the video, we've seen what we need to see a little bit, but we have her first awareness. Now this is basically what she comes out with here, and it's going to be something that, as much as I hate to say it, it is similar to Mesa. It's similar to Mesa to some extent. The A0 is called Out with the Old. You now can enchant your sword with flame, turning melee attacks into a fiery shooting star. So this is kind of interesting with this one, because now it's actual melee attacks. I'm not sure if they mean all melees or if they just mean that one little melee attack that's the skill 3. But this deals severe fire technical damage, and when triggering, it actually does backdraft. Now this technical depends on at least the gain bonus effect, so it will depend on what you're doing here. So if you do a fire technical here, certain fire skills when dealing damage to enemies in a certain status will gain additional effects. So this is going to be the whole deal with the whole technical situation. It can be triggered off of beam burns, it can be triggered off of freezes, and it can be triggered off of winded. So for example, when affected, at least inflicted by burn here, you trigger backdraft. That's going to give us more skill damage. Awesome. When we trigger ice burn, that gives us increased target fire / ice damage taken, which is pretty interesting as well. And then if we trigger shockwave, it gives us an additional hit of fire damage, which is interesting as well. So it's kind of like a multi-hit, but not really a multi-hit. It's just an extra little smack at the back, at least at the back. So pretty interesting to see that we have actual technicals into the game now, so that's really nice. We then will check out her first skill here, which is called Abundant World. Now this takes 20 SP here. It deals a certain percentage of attack, fire damage to all enemies, and increases her own crit rate by a certain amount for a certain amount of turns. We don't know exactly the amount of turns just yet, and the amount of crit rate that she gets from it, but it'll do a certain decent bit of damage, and you increase your own crit rates. Alongside of this here, fiery shooting star, the effect boost is actually additionally dealing a certain amount of damage here of fire damage, and it will last a certain amount of turns as well. So that's interesting. The one I really want to read is the skill 3, but definitely here's a skill 2 here called Crackling Firecrackers, another 20 SP move. This will deal a decent bit of damage here. The attack fire damage to all enemies here, another AoE of course, and with a certain % chance to inflict a burn in New Year fire. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think really with this whole kit, you're going to be utilizing skill 2 maybe first, and then skill 1 to then prepare for the skill 3. I don't know, it's going to be kind of interesting to see how they go for it. But then for this one here, inflict the target with Year Fire. The effect boost will last a certain amount of turns. Year Fire here is, let's see what it actually is here. It actually increases our fire damage based on attack for a couple turns with a few stacks involved. So there will be stacks involved with this move, meaning it might be our big little setup moves. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see. We have the skill 3, which is Shooting Star Greetings, and this is the one I'm really interested into here. This one starts with 1 cooldown. You will enchant your sword with flame, enter the Iron Flower Dance, increase damage dealt, upgrade your melee attack to Fiery Shooting Star for a certain amount of turns until you use the Fiery Shooting Star. Now Fiery Shooting Star, I'm pretty sure is just this slash here for the most part, but let's see what it says. Fiery Shooting Star here deals a certain amount of fire attack damage here to all enemies. It triggers a fire technical, and then it triggers backdraft, which gains us a bonus effect. Now this starts with a cooldown. Pretty much you can use other skills after using this skill. It is not seen as a persona skill, so this is kind of like an additional little hit here. But the best way that I think this whole cooldown thing is going, or a way to explain it, is if you play with Mesa and you know how he works, that's what she seems like. She has the little form change thing, kind of has the buff as well like Mesa does. with before the form switch and stuff like that. So I'm really seeing a lot of like examples with that, so that's really cool. That's really cool to see. But then when fire skills deal technical damage to enemies inflicted with a burn, you'll trigger a backdraft, which is of course just additional skill damage. Pretty interesting as well. So now if we go ahead and go down here, we do have her highlight. Her highlight does of course fire attack damage to everyone, increases her own attack and fiery shooting star damage dealt for a certain amount of turns. Pretty interesting. Now the weapon here, Shining Sun, I do think this weapon might be really good, to be honest. It increases her crit rate whenever she is under the Iron Flower Dance here, and then of course increases the technical damage while also increasing attack. I feel like that's going to be a really powerful weapon, but definitely interesting with that one, and it looks just amazing. But passive 1 and 2, we have Auspicious and Pleasant. Well, Auspicious increases her damage dealt to enemies inflicted by burn, and then the Pleasant one here, at the start of the battle, she increases her own attack for a certain amount of turns when all allies or any allies are triggering a technical refresh this duration or boost this effect. So interesting with that. But I'm really interested into is the awarenesses. So awareness 1, you start with no cooldown, so you can immediately be into that form here. Extending the duration of Iron Flower Dance is also going to be here. I feel like A1 is really going to be really powerful for this character, so that's probably going to be something a lot of you guys want to look at. But then Abundant World also additionally increases the crit rate of Fiery Shooting Star. Crackling Fireworks also additionally inflict the target with a stack of your fire, which is really interesting. Then of course we have the A2. When you are present, when enemies are inflicted with or cleared special burn, immediately inflict them with 1 stack of special burn that can go over the cap permanently. There is a cooldown to this effect. Each enemy's cooldown independently. In battle, for each enemy with the burn increases your own crit rate. So the A1 is the one I feel like is going to be what a lot of people really want to go for, but A2 is actually really good as well, seeing that you are getting that permanent burn stack there, and it does increase your crit rate even further. So I mean, like her awarenesses are really looking powerful here. A3 of course skill level up. A4 nothing too special. A5 nothing too special here, but A6 is where Iron Flower Dance will not expire. Upgrades the Fiery Shooting Star to Blazing Meteor, and this greatly increases damage. When using Blazing Meteor, you will not lose Iron Flower Dance, which is really interesting as well, and this extends the buff of those moves as well. I feel like this is going to be crazy, like much how we have Mesa, who was just insanely good. Her skills remind me of it. Some people say they don't, but I really do feel like her skills reminds me of how Mesa was. And maybe it's just me, maybe it really is just me, but I feel like this is really similar to Mesa, and she's going to be really powerful. But we have to see exactly how the the percentages are based. But for now, this is everything regarding her. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do smash that like button with your forehead, and consider subscribing if you are new. We do daily videos, and I'm gonna try and get out 2 today, because I did say I was going to do 2 yesterday, but some things came up and I weren't able to. But yeah, we're gonna be streaming as well, so look out for that. But peace out, you guys.